Hi, it's Granny Greensocks here, and I want to say I've been wearing green socks for years. I did it as a kind of act of defiance because whenever I went out to buy new socks, the only socks that appeared to be available for women were pink ones, blue ones, or sometimes kind of orangey ones, but never green ones. And in my perverse autistic way, I thought, I'm going to wear green socks, whether anybody wants to sell them or not. So I went online and bought loads of green socks, like this. But as you can see, this green sock has got a hole in the heel. Now, because of the problems I have with foot fungus, when I discovered these toe socks, I switched immediately to them, and they're wonderful because they separate your toes and they prevent the fungus from growing. They keep everything dry. They're a bit of a performance to put on, I have to say, but so worth it. The only thing is, though, they're quite expensive, and what happens is, according to the way you walk, they always wear out in the same place. So the left sock, which I evidently walk on my left foot in a different way to the right, the left sock is, in all the pairs of socks, is developing a hole in the heel. I thought, well, maybe I can get the right socks and turn them inside out and make new pairs, but it doesn't really work. So it's time for a change, and the change is I'm going for orange. Granny Greensocks is wearing orange. Orange is the new green. And I seem to be embarking on a new kind of path through life as well. For some time now I've been sitting around thinking, well, I'm retired. I've sorted out my affairs as best I can. I can just, do whatever I like, really. So I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and the things that catch my attention are the weird ones always, The thing with the drones over New Jersey really got me interested. And once you watch something like that, you start watching loads of other stuff, and eventually you end up with the alien abductions. And it's like, do I really want to focus on people who've had experiences of being interfered with by nasty little greys? If I think about greys, I think, I don't want them anywhere near me. But if you think about them, they would probably be attracted. You'll get their attention on some kind of etheric or astral level just by thinking of them. Thinking and feeling are very important, as I've come back to realizing through watching people, talking about the vibrations in the spirit world and how everything is interconnected. And through thinking about these alien craft, this is what really took me back to the idea, was how can these aliens possibly interact with our world when apparently they walk through walls and they materialize and dematerialize? They've got to be in a different dimension. They've got to be able to modulate their vibrations. And I guess this is where we as humans ought to be heading, kind of back up through the scale of vibrations into new worlds that are more refined than where we are. We're in a very heavy world here, aren't we? You can tell just by looking around you how people become despondent and plod and force themselves to do stuff and end up being mean to each other and starting wars and what have you, because we're so focused on the material. So my new orange path is to focus more on the non-material, or the super-material, the kind of higher vibrations. It seems to me that they've got to be all interconnected. I was listening to a spirit medium the other day who goes into a trance, and her guides, her angels, whoever they are, they speak through her. And you think, well, there's an interface. There's a way to access these worlds. And there was another lady who was talking about how she was trying to enhance her communication with her dead relatives, and she would try and, test them. Can you, in the next 24 hours, show me I don't know, say a squirrel, something that she might see but probably wouldn't. And then during the next 24 hours, she'd be looking out to see if Spirit provided her with such a message. And she said it worked. And I thought, right, well, if I was going to do that, what would I ask to be shown to me? I don't know, probably a robin. A robin would be nice. Anyway, the relevance of that is, this morning I was having some pleasant dreams. I was sleeping well for a change, and I was dreaming I was in the garden with Chris, and I looked at the fence, and there was this robin sitting on the fence. And in my dream consciousness, I was thinking, I asked for a robin, and there it is. So I went up to it, and it just sat there looking at me. I reached out my fingers towards its feet, and it came onto my fingers. It perched on my fingers. And I had the experience that these claws were actually holding on to my fingers. There was the sensation that it really was sitting there. And I turned around to show Chris, look, this robin's come to me. I asked for it and it's come to me. So that was quite nice. But then there was another dream where I was involved in something complicated, and I had to go somewhere, and I was participating in something, and I was halfway there. I was driving with a friend when I realised I'd left Chris behind. I hadn't told him we were going, and we'd just taken off and gone. And I thought, oh well, we'll just carry on because it's too late now. I can't go back for him. He'll find a way. And we got there, and I realised that we'd bought tickets for this thing, and it was quite expensive, and there was no way I could contact him. I had my phone somewhere. In dreams, I tend to look for my phone and I can't find it. And if I do find it, I can't operate the buttons. And, there's always some reason why it doesn't work. And in any event, he never has his phone switched on or handy, so there's no point in trying to contact him that way. Anyway, I just made all these obstacles to the thing working out. And then I woke up and I thought, why am I having these kind of dreams again? I'm supposed to be letting go of all this, making obstacles for myself and making things more difficult than they need to be. And also I've got my robin now. And I thought, oh well, maybe the robin was actually showing me this, you need to work on this. Because another thing that I thought yesterday was I could go through all the incidents in my life. I could be methodical about this. I could make a list. Because sometimes when I'm lying awake in bed and my brain becomes really active, I try not to let it, but sometimes it does. I end up going over in my head all the incidents where I did something I really regretted doing, or said something that was stupid, and you get embarrassed, or you get weighed down by the guilt of having done something that really you shouldn't have done because it's not impacting well on other people. And I'm thinking I could go through all those again. A lot of them involve being critical, criticising people. And in a fairly insistent way, in my autistic manner. A lot of them involve writing letters. I get obsessed with an idea, and I have to write it down in great detail, and the other person has to know about this. And in the end, sometimes I don't send it, but sometimes I have in the past sent a letter like that, and it's turned out not to be a good idea at all. So yeah, I felt like I could make a list of those, and I could also include in the list anything that anybody did to me that I am kind of hanging on to, that makes me feel, oh, that was a horrible thing they did. That really hurt me, like holding on to the bad vibe of the incident, I guess, when really I don't need to. And maybe the robin was saying that to me. Go on then, that's a good idea, you do that. So that's what I'm going to do today. Because I'm getting the impression from everywhere that I look, and I admit that I look within a fairly confined bubble of informants, but I get the impression from loads and loads of people, mediums and astrologers and people involved in extraterrestrials, and that this year things are going to change, that we really are going to become aware of new truths, and we're going to raise or be raised in our vibrations in some way so that we're living in a rather different way. And something's got to happen for sure, otherwise we're just going to destroy everything, it seems to me. So if that's going to happen, it's good to be ready for it and to kind of clean yourself out if you can. This thing about doing things that you regretted doing, and a lot of them being about criticising. At one point, years and years ago, when I was first involved with this kind of new age, solving your life problems by affirmations and visualizations thing, I took it upon myself to visualize the part of me that was doing this criticizing, and I tried to expunge it from myself, to send it away. And I got a strong message at the time that I shouldn't send it away. And now I think I've reached the realization that you can't send away parts of yourself. You have to make your peace with them. You have to understand them and surround them with unconditional love. So you have to love yourself and all the parts of yourself. And those parts of yourself that have done something embarrassing or uncomfortable, they deserve to be loved as much as any other part of you. And those people who've done something unpleasant to you, they're in the same situation. You can't just dismiss them and kind of, eliminate them from existence. You have to somehow embrace them with love. You can let them go, but embracing them with love would be a good way to let them go so that they're no longer hanging on in your memory and your awareness of yourself. Oh, I'm the person that person did something to. You can let all that go. So that's my aim for today. I hope you're having a good day. I'll see you later. Bye.